Alright, well, I like it. I like it. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're gonna work on a little bit on how we patch a hole like this to get it ready for the tile or whatever else you're gonna do. So in the last episode we took care of the pipes, but now we're gonna work on putting the drywall up and making everything safe. We gotta just put a little piece of wood to a backing. We have this one, so we're gonna put one up here to just secure the piece of drywall that we're gonna put up. So anyways, we're gonna make a few marks here. It doesn't have to be precise. It's just a backing for the drywall. So we're gonna make a little mark here. We're gonna take this one and maybe go like this. Make a mark over here. So we're gonna go cut these, and then I'm gonna show you another tool that we have. This is made by Ryobi, sold by Home Depot. There's a lot of these tools that you can buy for home projects that are inexpensive. You don't have to go and get a bunch of different tools. This will do, you know, you can cut all kinds of materials and everything with this. And there it is. It makes a beautiful cut, and it's simple. So let's go back inside and put these in. Now that we have our two pieces of wood to put on the wall, we're gonna get a couple of screws. And by the way, don't put them in your mouth like those professionals. Anyways, we're gonna take the piece of wood, put it behind here, and we're gonna, okay, take it, stick it behind here, and screw it in. Okay, so that's one. The other one we're gonna put right under here. Okay, I gotta go outside and chop this one too. All right. Okay. You want to countersink the screws a little bit. I mean, it's going to mess up the drywall a little bit, but the mud will take care of that. But you want to countersink them or push them, not countersink, but push them into the drywall, you know, like 1/8 of an inch or just a little bit. You don't want them sticking up. You don't want them sticking up like that. You want the screw to go in. And that's it. There's our wood. Now, you never leave a wire like this, because if you leave this wire like this, I'm putting the drywall. I know I'm not going to hit it, but we have to put a stud guard here to protect the wire from future whatever. You know, somebody comes along, because if this wire is sitting here and somebody drives a screw through the drywall, when the wire is sitting here, then the wire moves a little bit, so you're not going to catch it. But here, chances are that it'll go right through the wire, because it's got something to hold against. So we're going to put something called a stud guard, and I'm going to show you that. Let me go get one, and then I'll show you how to do that. We have different kinds of ways we can protect this, but they sell these are called stud guards, or I don't know, kick plates. Some people, I don't know, it's a bunch of different names, but they sell them at Home Depot, Lowe's, or any home improvement store that you might have close by. But anyways, you take these things and you're going to put them in here to make sure that this wire doesn't get hit by anything. And there's a certain thickness that this needs to be in code compliance. Okay, let me get a hammer. You're going to take the stud guard and you're going to put it here and hammer it in. Okay, and that sometimes you can put another one and just to protect it a little more. So we're gonna take now we're gonna take a measurement. Once you put the start guard in, and by the way, I am going to, let me get, there's something else you can do to protect this a little bit more. So let me show that. I think that'll help out with anything, you know, with anything that might go. So we'll try to put this wire in the middle of the stud so there's no chance that somebody can hit that. So now you also have these things. Can you get that? These are staples, and they sell them at the same home improvement stores all over the place. So you can buy these, and what this does, it'll keep the wire in the middle of the stud. You put the staple in, and then you hammer it, and you're gonna hammer this all the way in, but not mushing the wire. You want the wire to move a little bit. So the wire moves a little bit, and that will keep your wire in the center. Sometimes I will take another one and put it in the middle of, you know, but in this case, you don't really need it. It goes through another hole. It's well protected. So, you know, this will keep it in the middle. The screws that you put in the drywall anyways are 1.25 inch screws, 1.125 inch maybe, if somebody wants to use. But 1.25 inch screw only goes in, you know, about 1/2 inch or so into the drywall and then into the wood. So you can see that it'll miss the wire when the wire's in the center of the stud. Okay, so now we're gonna measure the little patch that we're gonna put here. We're gonna measure the drywall, and you have, you know, you'll measure it. I usually cut it about a 1/16 of an inch less or something. But like this one, 14 3/4, and hopefully this is a square hole. So this is 14 5/8. So what I'll do, I'll cut it 14 5/8 by, I use a smaller, by 17. Let's see what we got here. We got 17 1/4 and 17 1/4. So 14 5/8 by 17 1/4. Okay. Anyways, okay. So now we're just gonna measure a piece of drywall. So you can see I've been using it. So you're gonna measure 17 1/4. So we're gonna go 17 1/4. And the good thing about these tape measures, people that don't know how to use a tape measure, because I didn't know how to use a tape measure when I started. So measures that have the fractions 17 1/4 and 17 1/4, so that we can cut the square out. So I usually use the tape measure. Okay. Just to make a little line. Okay. And then we need 14 5/8, so that's plenty. So I'm gonna just cut this part. Where's this? It's got no straight parts, so let's cut this at 16. Jeez. Let's cut it at 16. That's an approximate right there. So drywall is very simple to cut. I'm going to cut it all the way across just to use the knife. So very simple to cut. So you just score the thing. So I'll go all the way across so you see how easy it is to cut. So you score it and you snap it, and you go on the other side and you do the same thing. You score it back here. Just run your knife across and go the other way, and it's done. So now the same thing, you score this, snap it, score this part, and then bring it back. Now we got our little square, which should be 17 1/4, and then now it's pretty straight. So let's go 14 5/8. 14 5/8. 14 5/8. You can see, pretty crooked cut. So All right, let's go. It's not that straight, but we'll go inside and see what we got. What I usually do, or what I try to do, is I'll make a mark where the stud is. That way you know when you put your screws in, and I'll make a mark where the metal piece is, so I don't screw through that. And right here is a stud, and the rest is self-explanatory. It's just all the way around. So I'll put this in, and it doesn't fit, you know, exact. It fits pretty good. But it, you know, you have a little gap here. Tiles are going to cover this. So in this case, I'm not going to put, I'll show you how to do it, but I'm not going to put the mesh and all that stuff. Okay, so we'll put a couple of screws in here. Obviously, you're going to try to make sure that it's a little inset. You have to cover this, but when you put your tile, it won't be pushing it out or something weird. That you're going to have to work a lot harder to get it to. Yeah, it has to lay flat. Put a couple of screws. One here. And I guess another one here. By the way, once you put this in, you have a little bit of a gap. You could take this drywall that's got a little bit of a gap and inset a little bit, and you can put, because this helps. This helps with the, once you put the mud in for the tiles, this mesh. And this mesh, it's sticky, so it sticks. It's got a little bit of glue on the back, so you put it on, and then it sticks. This is also for the people that are having people come over to their homes and doing this kind of work. As you can see, it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy to do all this. You know, you have to go to the store, buy the material. It's a process that you have to go through. So when somebody charges an average of $300 to come and patch a hole like this, if the guy that gives you a $50 estimate to fix anything in your house, that's not a professional. So you know, a patch like this will cost you $250 to $300. That's, you know, the area that we live, that's about an average on a repair like this. I won't be putting any drywall mud on this, like I said, because of the tile. But if I was to put drywall mud, my son says I put drywall mud with a spoon, so I make lumps and stuff. So I'm not very good at it. So thank goodness I didn't have to do it here. If you look here, this was where the refrigerator was. At one point, somebody repaired this. I don't know, maybe I did it. I don't know. Anyways, but you can see how lumpy this is. You know, sometimes it pays to hire a professional that will come out and give you an estimate and will make, if it's an exposed wall. In this case, my tiles are going all the way up, so tiles are going everywhere. So, but you can hire a professional and they'll finish it for you, and you can do, you know, if you know how to lay tile, and this is a very simple tile to lay. But let me get some tiles and I'll show you how this is going to go. These tiles, they come stuck together. They're, I think these are marble tiles, and they come stuck together. So when these go here, even if the wall was a little irregular, you're still going to get a pretty good coverage. You know, these tiles they sit on the wall perfect. So you would, you know, you wouldn't have to finish. I wouldn't invest money in finishing this to a smooth surface to put this stuff on it. So that's what we're doing here. All right, guys. Well, that finishes this project. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It helps us a lot on our videos. So if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments.